Hey, what's going on, guys? Archer Mark here, and I'm back with another figure review. Today I have the fourth and final video of the Amazon exclusive 4-figure Marvel Legend pack of the Avengers. This is Marvel's Hawkeye. So, again, I mentioned this before when I was showing the packaging. Why it has to be Marvel's Hawkeye as compared to some other character, I don't know, but that's how it has to be worded for some reason. We'll give you a closer look at the figure first. Just one little thing with the packaging I want to show you. I went into more detail on the Thor review, but just want to show you it's Marvel's Hawkeye, his little mini bio. Hawkeye aims alongside the Avengers as a master archer with deadly accuracy. Okay, that's it. Just wanted to make sure I got in the little mini bio there. Now these figures, I think with this one, and I believe the Thor figure as well, are kind of repaints of figures that were released back with the original Avengers movie. There were 6-inch scale figures that were Walmart exclusive. Now I never got my hands on those figures, so I was really excited when this 4-pack was announced because I wanted a movie version of Hawkeye and Thor to round out my Avengers movie team. And you know, the Bruce Banner figure is still a pretty good figure, and then the one I didn't really want because it's a repaint and I already have the other figure is the Black Widow, but still a great 4-pack to get. So if you don't have, maybe you're missing 2 out of those figures, and you know, again, the Bruce Banner hasn't been done too often. If this may be the only time, I'm not positive, but certainly they don't do a Bruce Banner figure that often. So overall, it's a great 4-pack to pick up. You know, it's Amazon exclusive, so it's, you know, you're not going to find it in stores, so it might be a little pricey for some people, but that's up to you. But now, let's really get into this figure. We'll come in forward, and facial sculpt, I think it's pretty decent. Maybe not the best. I think it fairly resembles Jeremy Renner. I believe the previous figure, he had sunglasses with they had like purple shades on, so they didn't have to get the facial sculpt quite right. That would have been neat. That would have taken away having to get the facial sculpt perfect, but I like this. I think it's a better way to go. I'd rather see this than with the sunglasses. Sunglasses just look odd. I don't know. We'll go down, and you have his outfit. Looks really cool. I guess looks more similar to the outfit we see in the original film than the second Avengers movie. But it still looks pretty cool to me. Black, we got this kind of very dark purple. And again, nicely sculpted. We get all the knee pads and little buckles and straps there. So not a whole lot of color. Again, all black. Little bit of that same dark purple on the quiver, which is removable. We'll show you that in a moment. Okay, and then we have the little wrist gauntlets and the glove there. One thing right there, you can see the little kind of black circle sculpted in there. The previous figure, I believe, had the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo on there, and this one does not. And I don't mind if the S.H.I.E.L.D. logo is not on there, but it looks odd having that circle. Like, you could very much see that there, that something was meant to be there. So that makes it a little odd. So if they weren't going to put the logo on there, maybe they could have not put that there. I don't know. Hair is pretty nice, you know, brown hair. It's not too much color variation there. It's fairly well sculpted. Looks good. Okay, let's give you a closer look at the accessories. Now here you have the quiver, which it's really nicely sculpted, and you know, again, you have a little bit of purple paint there, and we got this big clump of arrows. There's no individual arrows there. We do have, I do like how there's the one arrow that's kind of sticking out like he's almost pulling it out, but it's just all black paint. You know, a little maybe silver paint on the back or something like that would have been nice, but it still looks good. It serves its purpose. It looks like a quiver of arrows, which is what it's meant to be. So it didn't go super all out, but that's all right. And then I'll show you the bow. It's not much to it. We've seen this bow with various Hawkeye figures over the past few years. It's all, you can see it's all like a black plastic. There's no extra paint on this at all, but he holds it really well. The string, it's not a real string, it's a plastic, but it's a pliable plastic piece of plastic there. So there is some bend to it, some stretch to it, so you can do some movements like he's pulling back on it a little bit. You can do something. So sometimes if it's too, I've seen some figures where the bowstring is just a stiff plastic and there's no movement to it. It just feels like you're just gonna like snap it off. This one, you know, I wouldn't put too much pressure on it. You don't want to break it, but there is some give there, which is good. One thing for someone, this is a tip. I use this with one of my other Hawkeye figures. If you want like a loose arrow, I have this arrow that I've been using just to show you. This is from a Katniss Everdeen figure from the Hunger Games, and those figures come with 3 of these arrows, and they work right in scale. You know, you could see that works, I think, right in scale, and you can fit it in the finger. It will fit in there. You just kind of wedge it in these 2 fingers, and you can hold it. So if you want to do something like that, that will work. So it's just a little tip, that just a thought if you want to do that, if you have one of those figures. Overall, very good figure. That's maybe the biggest gripe that I think we get with these Hawkeye figures. They never seem to give us arrows with these figures. I don't know. Articulation on this guy is really good. You got head is on a nice ball joint, and you got left and right, moves really freely. You can look down just a little bit and can't really look up. We do get ball joints at the shoulders, and really nice. You got upper bicep swivel, double hinge joints at the elbows, nice tight joints there. And you have the wrists, you have swivels at the wrists, and hinge joints. Yeah, hinge joints that go in and out, nice and tight. Upper torso joint, and you can go left and right. You can move down a little bit, and you can go back just a little bit. You know, a little bit more movement would have been nice, but it's still left and right, and you got flows really well there. There's no waist joint. You do have hip joints, which move all the way out, so you could do full splits with this guy. The legs move forward. They're kind of stiff. They don't really move forward too well, which is odd, and you really can't get them back. Knees, you have a double joint at the knees, which again kind of hidden by the knee pad there, which is good. And the legs, you have ankle joints, move forward and back, and there is ankle pivot there. So overall, pretty good articulation. Not the best with the legs, but the upper body for the most part is good. The feet, the knees work good, and you should be able to get them in some decent, you know, dynamic poses. You know, hopefully, you know, you just kind of play around with it. I'm not the best at posing figures. I don't have a super great imagination with getting some good poses, but I think, you know, give it some thought, and I think you can get him in some decent action poses there. And we'll just put his quiver back on. Which brings me to one more point. I want to make sure this doesn't plug in as tightly as it could. It goes, it's just basic, hole, peg, but it doesn't go in all the way, and it's good because one thing that's good, you can move it kind of back and forth. You can put it on this side, or that's however you want to position it. But it's not super tight, so it's not like it's gonna fall out. It doesn't, it stays in there, but it's just not as tight as I wish it were. But not bad. So overall, this is as far as this 4-pack, I would say the Thor is my favorite, and then this comes a close second, and then the Banner, and then fourth for me would be the Black Widow. But this is Hawkeye. I'm glad to really have this figure, because Hawkeye would be my favorite Avenger after Captain America. Like, goes Captain America, then Hawkeye, and maybe Iron Man, and I'm not sure about how I rank them all. But let's just bring them in. Here's the 4 figures. We'll just kind of... That's just... Darn Black Widow. She doesn't stand. There we go. And just to show you what the 4 figures look like. There's the 4-pack all standing there. I think the scale is really well. You can see Bruce and Black Widow, Hawkeye, Thor is obviously the tallest. I think the scale is pretty good. So overall, this is a great pack. It's certainly worth picking up. At least it was for me, I feel. This was a must-buy for me. I was really excited to get this pack. Again, may not be for everyone. Maybe you have the Black Widow. Maybe you don't need another Thor. That depends on each individual person. For me, I very much wanted this pack. I was really excited for it. But there's the 4. Let's get these out of the way. So there you have it. This video and the previous 3 videos, we have Amazon exclusive 4-pack Marvel Legends Avengers Age of Ultron's really good pack. You put these figures with the previous figures that we've gotten, and the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. pack that we had. That was a Toys R Us exclusive, which you could probably still find that in stores. They're still sitting there. They shouldn't be too hard to pick up, and you could really build up your team. We got an Ant-Man figure. We got a War Machine figure. So we could really put together our Avengers, movie figures are really really growing. Just a couple characters that they haven't done yet. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this review. This is the Marvel's Hawkeye. Really, really good figure. Certainly right up there is, I would say, it's my second favorite. Thor, again, I think Thor is my favorite of this pack, and Hawkeye is really close second. So it's certainly worth getting. It's a very good pack. Again, might be a little pricey for some, but it all comes down to the individual buyer. So hope you enjoyed this. Like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And yeah, until my next video, thank you for watching, and Avengers Assemble.